We're going to go ahead and get ourselves started. We'll call the meeting into order at 7 p.m. Mahalo nui to everybody for joining us here at the Waimanalo Public Library. This is Monday, January 13, 2025, our regular Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting of the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board. For those joining us here, mahalo for making time to be here, present in person at the public library. For those joining online, mahalo for your presence as well. The purpose of the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board is to increase and assure effective citizen participation in the decisions of government. Rules for engaging: anyone wishing to speak is asked to click the raise hand icon online. If you're online and when recognized by the chair to address comments to the chair, remarks should not exceed 3 minutes. Please ensure your microphone is muted unless you are speaking. You can unmute and unmute for those dialing in by phone by pressing *6. Really important for us to state our first and last name for the record before moving into your comment and questions. We'll try to correct those if people don't or need a reminder. We'll try to do that. Written testimony may also be submitted via email using the contact information listed on the Neighborhood Commission Office website. Waimanalo utilizes aloha in our dealings as akahai, meaning kindness, to be expressed with tenderness; lokahi, meaning unity, to be expressed with harmony; olu, meaning agreeability, to be expressed with pleasantness; ha'aha'a, meaning humility, to be expressed with modesty; ahonui, meaning patience, to be expressed with perseverance, in accordance with Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 5-7.5. That is a standard for our engagement. So I just want to make sure people are clear on that. The board may take action on any agenda item as required by Sunshine Law, HRS 92. Specific issues not noted on the agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda, at which point a 2/3 vote, in this case 9 members of this 13-member board, is needed to add an item to the agenda. Adding an item to the agenda, however, is not permitted if 1, the item is not to be added is reasonably major importance, and 2, action on the item by the board will affect a significant number of persons. A determination of whether a specific matter may be added to an agenda must be done on a case-by-case basis. We remind folks to please silence our electronic devices and that this meeting is being recorded to share afterwards. With that being said, we want to ask for a volunteer participant to open us up in Pule this evening. Do we have anybody willing to open us up in Pule? Anybody online?
Sure, I'll open.
Mahalo, Brenda.
Mahalo Keakua for gathering us here tonight. We look to you for your wisdom, for your love, for your unity, for Waimanalo, for our board, for the community, and we ask that you would lead us and guide us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mahalo nui, Brenda. Thank you for that. We're going to turn it over to our NA today. We have Spencer Johnson joining us from the Neighborhood Commission Office for our roll call. Members, your camera must be on, and when your name is called, please go ahead and acknowledge your presence. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Apologize if I mispronounce your name. This is my first time reading them. Kanani Granberg.
Eo.
Chair Kimiona Kane.
Eo.
Jenna McKeek. Lourdes Milan.
Here.
Moyata Moku Lehua.
Eo.
Kapiolani Ni.
Eo.
Ted Ralston. Brenda Wong.
Eo.
Kuike Kamakea Ohelo. Okay, thank you. We have 7 members present, Chair.
Mahalo nui. Thank you for that. Our next motion is, excuse me, let me step back. Our next item is a message from Kupuna. Typically, we start off our meetings with any messaging from Kupuna or anyone wishing to share mo'olelo, guidance, or any kind of feedback. Do we have any Kupuna in person or online that wish to address the community? Okay, hearing none, it is an invitation to any of our kupuna of Waimanalo to have their voices heard and shared with the community and engage with us here at the board. So we invite any of our kupuna to participate in that. Moving on, our Olelo no Ia of the month, number 7, Ahai la ikapupuhi. Away like a gust of wind, travel with the speed of wind. It's a reminder for all of us when we think about our relationship to place, how important it is to have said relationship. And so, number 7 again, ahai la ikapupuhi. Away like a gust of wind, travel with the speed of wind. We encourage folks to continue to develop their relationship to Olelo no Iao and the language of our people here in Hawaii. And so mahalo nui for having that guidance available to us. We're going to move on to F. We have a message from Mr. John Mizuno. This was supposed to be shared with us at our last meeting in November. However, due to various circumstances, it was not, but it needs to be addressed, and so I'm going to address it tonight. The message reads as follows. I apologize for any hurt that I may have caused through my actions or inactions as it relates to Auntie Blanche's new kauhale. Please note that I support Auntie Blanche's kauhale 100%, and we have applied her blueprint for the build-out of future kauhale projects because it provides more than housing. It provides a place to recover, to heal, to have ohana and kuleana, to build character, dignity, and to move forward born anew. Finally, I have reached out to both the chair and the vice chair of this board for a meeting. Please know that I look forward to meeting with you all soon. Okay. That was supposed to be read at our November meeting. Okay. What happened and transpired led to the very, very poor targeting of our vice chair. And so I want to make sure we address that tonight. Yeah. Our kuleana to manage the things that happen in this community happens through aloha. Yeah, so we must hold ourselves accountable to that. And I want to apologize to our vice chair for having to take the burden of being addressed in that way. We need to malama that responsibility. Okay. For Mr. Mizuno and his team, we were able to meet briefly to talk a little bit about the actions and inactions that took place. We did receive an apology for, and as we heard, the messaging that was not provided, the full voice that was not provided to the community at large. And so while we are here to support the work necessary to move community forward, there's a right way to do it. And so we mahalo Auntie Blanche for your stewardship in that and your team. And we mahalo our community for speaking up when it is their right to do so. And we mahalo Mr. Mizuno for acknowledging that he could have did a better job. Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our emergency providers. We're going to start with the Honolulu Fire Department. Welcome, gang. Happy New Year. And please accept our condolences. Mahalo.
Thank you. Song, you hear me? Okay, thank you. Incident statistics for December 2024. There were 2 structure fires, 3 nuisance fires, 1 activated alarm with no fire, 48 medical calls, 1 motor vehicle collision with a pedestrian, 1 collision with another vehicle, and that was it. The fire safety tip of the month is about appliance and electrical safety. Minimize electrical fire risks in your home with these safety tips. It's kind of a big one for us because it is what seems to me one of the major causes in a lot of the house fires we go to. Electrical work should only be performed by a qualified electrician. Check your electrical cords. If they're cracked or damaged, replace them. Do not overload wall outlets or power strips, and use certified power strips that meet safety standards. Extension cords should not be used long-term. They're designed for temporary use only. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for all appliances. For more information, visit fire.honolulu.gov. That's all we have for tonight.
And for the record, this is Captain Granado.
Oh, sorry. Captain Granado, across the street.
Mahalo, Captain.
The loop we missed last month.
We were recessed last month.
Yeah.
So not your fault. Yeah.
Ready to go, and we didn't have it.
Mahalo for being here. Members, any questions for the Honolulu Fire Department? Seeing and hearing none. Anyone from the public? Mahalo you folks for your service, and again, our condolences. Thank you very much, gang. We're going to move on to Honolulu Police Department.
I'm Officer Jared Atkins with District 4 Community Policing Team. The stats for December 2024 were there was one motor vehicle theft versus 0 the previous month. There were 2 burglaries versus 1 the previous month. There were 7 thefts in December versus 3 the previous month. There were 0 car break-ins in December versus 5 the previous month. And there were 2 robberies in December versus 0 the previous month. That's all the stats I have. I can take any questions or concerns from the community.
Thank you, Officer Atkins. Mahalo for being here. Members, any questions? We have a question up from Brenda Wong.
Yeah, was wondering if you could give us any stats about the parks, Hunananiho and any of the other parks with any arrests or any sweeps, homeless sweeps, if you could give us an update about that.
Sure. What time frame are you looking for?
Just the last couple of months from our last meeting till now.
Okay, I'll have to get back to you on the last few months because I just came back to district in December. But I know the past week or so we've been going over there, and we towed several expired or junk cars from over there, and we will be doing an SPO this week. I can get back to you with stats next meeting.
Were there do you know of any ticketing of illegal driving in the beaches, cars on the beaches or anything like that, beyond the roadway? Yes.
I haven't heard of any, but I'd have to look up, try and look it up and see if there was any, but I haven't heard of any recently.
Okay, yeah, if you could give us more update next month, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Mahalo, Auntie Brenda. Members, any other questions for Honolulu Police Department? And then just for the record, I guess SPO stored property, yeah?
Yes, stored property ordinance.
Thank you. Anyone in public? Okay, hearing none. Welcome back to district.
Thank you.
Mahalo nui for your service. We're going to move on to declaration of vacancies. This is addressing the 3 absences. We have Kenani Gramberg, who's been serving on the board. I think we might have to defer this until Jenna arrives. Jenna, are you online yet? Okay. We might have to defer that till we can get quorum, unless she's a part of quorum, Spencer. So if we take an action, do we include her vote too?
Who is she? Jenna?
No, Kenani Gramberg.
Oh, did she drop off?
No, well, she had a 3 absence letter, so we're addressing that 3 absence letter.
It would count. Yeah, yeah.
So we can.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we do have
Seven.
our 7 that we need for quorum. So we're gonna address Kenani. Anyone wishing to address Kenani's absences in any way, shape, or form? And Kenani, you want to share anything? Don't feel obligated to, but we can take action to declare the seat vacant, or we can choose to continue to work with Kenani and have her serve on the board. Members, any recommendations? Brenda, your hands up.
I'm sorry, that was from last time.
Okay. I don't hear any conversation, so is there a motion to take action in any way, shape, or form, members? Quique, question?
Check. Yes, Mahalo, Chair. Kenani is Quique. I have a question. Do you wish to continue serving in this role?
Yes.
Okay, mahalo. Chair, my recommendation is to take no action.
Mahalo. Is there a second?
I would like to second that, Brenda Wong.
Thank you, Brenda. Motion has been made and seconded. Members are in discussion. Any conversation? Okay, hearing none. Members, when your name is called, please answer with aye, yes, you support the motion to take no action, a'ole or no, you do not, and then abstain. When Spencer calls your name, please have your cameras on and state your position. Mahalo.
Kenani Gramberg,
Aye.
Jenna McKee, Lourdes Milan,
Aye.
Moyata Moku Lehua.
Aye.
I heard aye. Kapiolani Ni'i.
Aye.
Ted Ralston.
Aye.
Brenda Wong.
Aye.
Kuike Kamakea Ohelo.
Aye.
And Chair Kimione Kane.
Aye.
Okay, the motion is adopted.
Mahalo nui gang for your service. And mahalo Kinani as well for your continued service. Members, we're moving on. Filling board vacancies. We have 4 available vacancies. Subdistrict 5, Waimanalo Village. Do we have anyone here for that position? Like Canela? Mahalo, Canela. Members, are there any recommendations for this position?
Chair, this is Kuike.
Mahalo, Kuike.
Please make a recommendation
Please.
to fill this absence. Waimanalo Village,
Subdistrict 5.
Subdistrict 5. And my nomination is Canela.
Mahalo. Are there any other nominations for this position of Subdistrict 5, Waimanalo Village? Members? Hearing none. Canela, you want to share your interest with the community and the board as to why you want to fill this seat? Come to the mic. Mahalo.
Then I guess, Chair, if I may,
Please.
first question for Canela. Would you be interested in serving in this capacity?
Yes.
Okay, you have the floor.
Aloha mai kako, everyone. My name is Kanela Kamahalo Nulai. I am a resident of Waimanalo. I'm hoping to serve in this capacity because I do work with houseless youth, houseless individual. I come from the Waimanalo, Makapu, Sherwoods, Bellows Beach Park. I was born and raised 29 years on these streets of Oahu. I love to advocate. I do have my master's degree in social work, and I'm hoping to use my experience, my advocacy, and my education to help push our board to allow transparency and also just integrity in our board, but also for our community and also to protect our future keikis and the kids that will take on these roles at a later time.
Mahalo, Canela. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, you can have a seat. Good. Mahalo. Members, we have no other nominees for this position, so when your name is called, you need to say, Canela has a very long last name. Can we just say her first name?
Yep.
Okay, just state the name of the person that you are going to be voting for. We have Canela here for Subdistrict 5. Mahalo, members.
Kenani Gramberg.
Kanela.
Jenna McKee. Lourdes Milan.
Kanela.
Moyata Moku Lehua. Kapiolani Ni'i.
Kanela.
Ted Ralston.
Canela.
Brenda Wong.
Canela.
Kuike Kamakea Ohelo.
Canela.
And Chair Kimione Kane.
Canela.
Congratulations, Canela. We can do the oath of office and I get some documents for you to take care of. Thank
Mahalo.
you.
Do you want us to go into recess or you want to read it? Because we can share online, yeah? Yep. Canela, come back up to the mic. Mahalo nui. We're going to do your oath of office and then have you sit down. Mahalo.
Okay, I hope I can do this. Okay. I solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully support the constitutions and the laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Hawaii, the charter and the laws of the city and county of Honolulu, and the provisions of the neighborhood plan, and will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties to the best of my ability as a member of the neighborhood board to which I have been elected or appointed for.
Mahalo nui. Thank you for your service, Kanala. Thank you. Yes, we're gonna move and invite Kanala to come have a seat up here with us. Yeah. I mean, if you like, no pressure. We're gonna move on. Sub-District 9. Anyone for Sub-District 9 members? This is Old Homestead and Beach Homes to Makapu'u. Hearing none, we're gonna move on. Sub-District 10, Ag Lots. Any recommendations for the Ag Lots? Hearing none, we're gonna move on. Sub-District 11, Hale'aupuni. Hale'aupuni. Any recommendations or nominees for Hale'aupuni? Hearing none. Okay, we're gonna move on, but we do invite the community who live in those districts and sub-districts, if they're interested in serving to please reach out and ask. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we'll be happy to make time to meet and discuss them and invite you to participate and serve. Mahalo nui. We're gonna move on to number 5, filling a committee vacancy. We have a committee vacancy in Hawaiian Affairs and Natural Resources Committee. Is there any member of the board that wants to serve on that committee? For the record, we have on that committee a 7-member committee, myself, Lourdes, Kuike, Sean, Ted, Moyata, and 1 more vacancy. If there's any interest in filling that, please let me know. We do encourage the community as well, if they're wishing to participate in that committee, to do so. We invite all to participate there. So we'll go ahead and defer that until we do have a nominee for that position. Mahalo, gang. We're going to move on to public agencies and reports. Mahalo, Danielle, for your patience as we move into our conversations here. Board of Water Supply. Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year. Hi, for the month of January, the report from the Board of Water. During December, there were 3 water main breaks. The 13th and the 24th of December, 2 lines on Cal Highway. These pipes were installed in 1925. And then another main break on the 30th on Poalima Street. This was installed in 1973. And then the announcement from the board. The board offers a home water audit kit for customers to learn how to ensure that their water flow meets standards and is not overpressured or of wasteful water. These kits are available at Board of Water at the office. And what it does is basically a kit that you put over your water faucet or your tub faucet out of your washing machine. And then you use a timer, your own watch, stopwatch or whatnot. And you turn it on for X amount of seconds. And then there's markings on this bag that shows if this is the average flow, if it's too much, maybe you need to turn down the pressure at your house valve. And it also includes a toilet leak dye kit. And you can also check, let's see, toilet dye kit and shower heads. Yeah, and this is available at the Board of Water. And then I just had a follow-up comments from last meeting, actually the meeting in November. So that was right after that large water main break that was going on that month. Auntie Mabel had asked, because she had no water for 4 days, if there was any compensation she could get for the inconvenience. I checked with as far as I could get with all our bosses, to get a good answer. But she said, if she had damages caused by the water main break, she could apply for reimbursement for damages. Other than that, there really is no compensation. Any other questions, she can, or anyone can call 748-5041. for any questions. And then another question was any upcoming projects for the Waimanalo area. So there is a project, but it's not due to start until fiscal year 2030, and it is a renewal of the 24-inch water main that runs down Cal Highway from Olamana Golf Course right around Shimas. And that's the only other projected construction that I have right now. Okay. Do I have any questions?
Danny, thank you so much for the update. Mahalo nui for the response. Members, questions for Board of Water Supply?
Yes, I've got one, Kimmy.
Ted Ralston, please.
I'm sorry for the video in and out here. Danielle, question. We've seems to be having a high rate of water main failures. It just seems like we just wonder if there's any analysis you guys are doing based on the locations of the failures or the age of installation or the rate of use, something like that. It would indicate the threats that we're facing and whether any preemptive actions are called for to get to the ones that are going to fail next before they fail in some kind of a controlled way.
Yeah, we actually have a water conservation department. It's also headed by Barry Usugawa, who's done some work with us in the past. And he does have a crew of engineers that study high flows, probable leaks, and they do send out a crew with them to, what is the word? To catch these breaks prior to happening. Yeah, and some of these other breaks that happen is just old pipes, but we do have a really good water conservation team that does go out there, and they have their tools and their sonar and all their things, and they run tests, looking for what is the word? Anyway, but yes, we do have a group of engineers that do this full time.
And not to belabor the point, but can someone come back and give us an example of how the last 3 breaks, how they related to the analysis that had been done and the forecast? I'm just thinking that our pipes aren't getting any younger, and so if there's things we should all know about, I think would be interesting to have your analysis team give us their forecast.
Okay, I can check into that. That was the ones in November. Yeah, that big mess there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted. Danielle, thank you for the response. Members, any other questions? Canela?
Aloha, good evening. 2 questions. Will the Board of Water Supply work with the Department of Transportation to allow traffic flow during this construction time? Because Waimanalo is a one-way in, one-way out. And if you guys are starting that type of planning for our community.
Yeah, so the projected date of that renewal of that large main is not until 2030, and it's still in the planning and development. Yeah, I can only assume that they will, but I will just make sure that I mean, it should be. I mean, I don't. You know what I mean? I mean,
We'll do our best, right, Danny?
right? I mean, yeah. I mean, because we did have the incident in the past where, we did come through and dig up something for something else, and that was not right.
Right.
But yes, I will put a note. Especially it will be a large main and it will take up more space.
And Auntie Mabel just walked in. So Auntie Mabel, you missed her update, but she said, unfortunately, only if you had damages to your property, then you can apply for compensation. But mahalo. Auntie Mabel says mahalo, Danny. Any other members' questions for Board of Water? Canela?
Sorry, mahalo. Do you folks have something that will show the community what you guys defined as damages?
Um, I can find something for you, but I believe anytime when we have water, a lot of homes that are on post and pier underneath, if there's rubbish, any moisture, just runoff, sand, rocks, any sort of break in your wall or your grassy area. Yeah, we do have a insurance team that comes out and does inspections of any type of damage that's caused by our water main breaks.
Mahalo, Danny. Thank you for that response. We're going to move on, members, unless anyone from the public has any questions for Board of Water Supply. Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on to our, Danny, thank you so very much for your time and service.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, my dear.
You
We're
too.
moving on to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative. Director Thielen, thank you for making time. Happy New Year.
Oops, sorry. Okay, my phone is slow to react, and so I keep turning it off and on. So happy New Year, everyone. It's good to see everybody again. So for this month's report from Mayor Blangiardi, the mayor was thanking the lifeguards and the first responders who were helping to make Eddie a successful event. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching the surf. It was pretty awesome. As you know, the Department of Environmental Services had a court-ordered deadline for identifying a new landfill on the island of Oahu. The mayor's committed to not having the new landfill on the Leeward Coast, as that community borne the burden for many, many years. Councilman Say retired after nearly 5 decades of service and was mayor as well as other members of the city council. We had our 40th Honolulu City Lights celebration. So I know Waimanalo has its own Christmas parade, but I hope some of you got down to see the city lights. There was a very generous donor who put a lot more lights and tunnels and lit up the back areas. A lot of the kids were enjoying sliding down the hillside at the Civic Center. And then the city $2 million grant for an affordable housing development in Iwalei on some property that the city acquired in that area. So it's moving forward with a lot of workforce housing and low-income housing in that area. As many know, the neighborhood board elections will be coming up. So registration is coming. So it's the deadline February 21st for people to file to be a candidate, but also to file to vote. The board election that is done 100% online. And your neighborhood board, you can go to honolulu.gov/CO, short for Neighborhood Commission Office, to get information to register to vote or to file to be a candidate. And then lastly, the mayor is seeking open safety commissioners. If you remember, in the last election, there was a charter amendment that passed that to create an ocean safety commission. Lifeguards are their own department, and they will be governed by a commission, which hires a lifeguard and oversees the person. So the requirements, must reside in the city and county of Honolulu, be registered voters, and demonstrate expertise in one or the following areas. So open water saving, safety service, or conservation and environmental services, or community education, or ocean water sports and recreation, or risk management and injury prevention, aquatic environment. And then areas that somebody in is emergency management, preparedness, or intimate knowledge pertaining to the ocean department. So for people who want to be an ocean center, could email to md@honolulu.gov.
Director, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? We're kind of breaking up with you.
Sure, sorry. So people who are interested in applying to become an ocean safety commissioner should apply, send an email to MD, which is short for managing director, mdoffice@honolulu.gov. And I can put that in the notes, I think, from my phone after I'm done with the report. And then there were no concerns by members, or I think we were able to answer them at the last meeting. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Director, thank you very much for the update. And as we shared earlier, we do offer our condolences on the loss of our HFD and EMS personnel, and just want to share that with you as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot there was one other item that the board did ask me to come back and report on having another public meeting on the Waimanalo Beach Park beach bathroom project. So we have worked with DDC and the Department of Parks and Recreation and the consultant, and we will be hosting a meeting on Wednesday, January 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Waimanalo Library. So Wednesday, January 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Waimanalo Library. And we'll be there to answer any questions and take comments and input regarding the beach bathrooms at Waimanalo Beach Park.
Director, thank you very much for that commitment following our council members' advocacy. So thank you. Members, questions for Mayor Blangiardi's office or administration? And I just want to make sure that we're mindful. We do have a very packed agenda. So if your comment or question can go to an email, that would be great. But if not, and it needs to be answered tonight, please let us know. Seeing no members, anyone from the public? Hearing and seeing none. Director, we will be in touch. Mahalo nui for your time. We do have a presentation this evening as well. Welcome back. Thank you, Director. Welcome. Thank you so much for making time to come back.
Good evening, Chair Kane
Mahalo.
and board members, and welcome, Canela. Thanks for volunteering. I'm going to give a couple handouts to everybody on the. And so for anybody in the audience, I have lots of handouts if you'd like them. This is about the sewer fee increase. You want me to pass them out? Okay.
Oh, we got it, council member. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. Okay. Thank Dr. Babcock, we can figure that out. Thank you. Thank you, Spencer. Thanks.
Okay, so good evening, everybody, and happy to be here. Thanks for having me. So the topic is the Department of Environmental Services. We provide sewer service for the whole island. Pretty much. There's a few exceptions. 780,000 people. We have 2,100 miles of pipelines. We have 9 wastewater treatment plants, including one here in beautiful Waimanalo. 71 wastewater pump stations, and we have 149,000 different accounts. The sewer service is 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We have many of our plants staffed 24 hours a day and providing that service to everyone so you don't have to worry about what happens when you flush your toilet. Sewer fees have last increased on July 1st of 2016, so 8.5 years ago. There's been zero increase since then. However, as everybody is familiar, costs have gone up for everything, and the department and the sewer service is subject to the same sort of inflationary pressures as everything else. We buy a lot of electricity, we buy a lot of fuel, we have 800 employees working almost 800 people working under sewage, another 400 people almost working under refuse services in that collection. But I wanted to mention that the sewer service is an enterprise fund, and that means that it's funded only by sewer fees. So it's not part of property tax. And so the sewer fees need to match the revenue requirements to run the program for all the people and all the services that we provide. The So, cutting to the chase, there's a couple of things. There is something called a consent decree. And in 2010, the city entered into a legal settlement in federal court with EPA, the State Department of Health, and several other litigants, and agreed to do a bunch of projects over a 25-year period from 2010 through 2035. This is broken up into three sort of phases or projects. One was the collection system, which was given 10 years. That was completed on time and on budget. Second phase was to upgrade our Eva Beach, our large treatment plant in Eva Beach called Honolulu. That was to be completed by last June, and it was completed on time and on budget, and it's operating now very well. Final project is to upgrade our Sand Island wastewater treatment plant, which is the real big treatment plant over in Honolulu. And that is underway now. It's broken up into two phases. We have until 2035, which is still another about 10 years. It was broken up into two phases, and phase one is about 65% complete, and phase two is in design to start construction in 2029 in order to finish by 2035. But altogether, that's an expensive project. The Sand Island upgrade is $2.5 billion project. That's about a quarter of all of our capital projects, construction projects that we need to do between 2025 and 2040. That's shown in that graph on the front page of the handout, which shows all the different kinds of projects that we do, taking care of the collection system, the pump stations, the treatment plants, et cetera. And that big orange spike in the middle is the consent decree, and that represents that phase two of the Sand Island upgrade. And that alone is a $1.8 billion project. So it's a very large project. And what it does is it shows it has a big impact on our revenue requirements for the department. So we've proposed a sewer fee increase. And again, this is to run our department separate from other activities. And so we have to propose this to City Council, and they do have to give their blessing for us to be able to do the sewer rate increase that we need. The rate increase, I'll tell you what it is and then explain some of the things that we're doing associated with it. So what's needed is we proposed a 10-year rate package. And the reason for that is to finish this final consent decree project and close that out in 2035. So 10 years from now will get us to 2035. The proposed increase is 9% per year for 6 years, starting July 1st of this year, and each July 1st until 2034. 9% per year for the first 6 years, and then 8%, 7%, 6%, and 5% in the 4 years after that. And so that does add up to over 100% increase or doubling essentially of the average sewer bill, 115%. And so to explain that a little bit more, we're doing a couple of things that are described in the handout in terms of changing the fee structure to better incentivize water conservation and to give folks greater control over their sewer bill. So that's kind of explained there a little bit, changing to a 50-50 kind of base charge versus volumetric charge format. Currently, and into the future, the sewer fee consists of a fixed charge as well as a volumetric charge. And the fixed charge is an amount that you pay no matter how much water you use. It doesn't change each month. The volumetric charge is based on how much water that you use that's billed by the Board of Water Supply. And so those numbers are all contained in this handout. It's kind of complicated. There's a lot of numbers. But the second handout that looks like this shows you what your sewer bills would look like for you individually, depending on how much water you use. And so you could find in there across the top, that's the number of thousands of gallons that you use per month of water, and then the corresponding bill that you would see in each of the next 10 years. So I just want to go through that a little bit, and I'll use my sewer bill as an example, which is a median use, which means half the people use less and half the people use more, and that's 6,000 gallons. That's the one that says 6,000. It's not the highlighted one, but I want to go over that one because that's my bill. In 2024, and still today, the bill is about $100 a month, $99.77. That's composed of the fixed rate plus the volumetric charge, $4.63 for every 1,000 gallons that we use. So that adds up to about $100. On July 1st, we're proposing that will go up to $107.30, so about $7 more. And then in the following year, it goes up about another $8. And then it continues up, as you go through the year, each of the years. And over time, it increases quite a bit. It goes up to about $203, so it's 104%. So the bill is going to double. It is kind of gradual. It does take place over 10 years, but that is the reality of what we're facing. I want to also mention that we are also we are doing a customer assistance program, which is a new thing for us, which directly will benefit if you qualify a direct reduction in your bill of $20 to $25 if you qualify by having a household income of less than 80% of the area median income. So that is a kind of a really quick overview of what we're proposing. And all this information, including this flyer and that other handout and everything, is on our webpage, the ENV webpage, which is listed on the flyer. You can also call us if you have questions. And I'd be happy to answer now any questions that you have about this.
Dr. Babcock, thank you so much for making time this evening. While I wish we could sit and just have a conversation about this for the night, it will take us all night to do so. I would like to invite the office or a representative to our February committee, one of our committee meetings, if we have availability, to give the community more opportunity to engage with the conversation further.
Sure.
We can coordinate that separate from here this evening, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We look forward to working with you and our council member to really put the community's needs at the forefront. As you can imagine, and I'm sure you've already heard, this spike has been and caught many community members by shock, and it's not really supported at this point in time by a lot. So we're hopeful that we can work out some things that will serve communities better. But thank you for your service and your work.
Sure. Yes.
Mahalo.
You're welcome.
Mahalo, Mr. Babcock. Members, we're going to move on. We have updates to go over, educational updates and reports, starting with Waimanalo Elementary and Intermediate School. Principal De La Cruz, are you on this evening? Okay. Jimmy, do you want me to just read that or?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mahalo.
Yeah, if you can share the link out. I'm also going to send it real quick to you just by email. I'm just hoping that the community can give us back some feedback on our school and what we're doing, and their hopes, dreams, aspirations. It's basically on the form. It's just 3 questions, and if people would take a few minutes just to kind of share their thoughts and what they would like to see in our school. Just very quickly, I'm trying to navigate my phone, and please forgive me because I'm not good at it. But well, I guess I'll just kind of go off of what I know right off the bat without trying to present anything. So a couple of things. First of all, we are in the process of doing our academic and financial plan. And we just finished our financial plan. Unfortunately, Waimanalo did not get sufficient funding in order to make things work. So we are in the process of losing 2 teaching lines in order to make our budget balance. So we're trying to finagle that and make sure that we can still do the job that we're doing. A couple of accolades I just wanted to bring up. Waimanalo Elementary and Intermediate School last year had such strong progress in terms of growth in our identified areas that we went from number 52 in the state as a middle school to number 14. So that's what we did in 1 year. And so I'm asking the community to continue to support us. I'm very concerned that our financial plan forces us to unfortunately balance the budget by cutting positions. I'm working on that to make sure that we can do what we can do based on what we have in terms of the finances we have and how we reorganize what we do. Also, what's happening in the school is our 100-year anniversary is coming up, and that's on May 17th, Ho'ike Saturday. We have our normal school Ho'ike on the 16th, and then we have the 100-year on the 17th. Palafuka is helping us with our entertainment. The community has rallied, and we have shirts printed. We have our tents and our area mapped and so forth. So the community is doing a great job at supplying the needs that we have. The rest of it is about showing up. So I invite everyone to that meeting on May 17th. In terms of the feedback and what we're looking for in the form that I shared in the chat, we're really looking at what are your true thoughts and feelings and about our school, and we cannot improve without feedback. So that's what we're asking you for. In terms of where we are now, I really want to, Kimiona, as you remember, in the education committee, we talked about win period, what I need period. That has been so wonderful in terms of identify the needs of all our students. So in our what I period that is mandated through the entire school, we are doing our data teams in which we look at what are the needs of every single student, and then we move them accordingly to the in order to improve. And so we just do that process again with our diagnostics, and we put our students into the areas that they needed to move in order to improve. We're also looking at how do we build a school program in order to meet the needs of every student. And then Summer Hub, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be inviting our students to improve their practice and performance based on their needs. And that's kind of there's a lot more, but like I said, I can't get back into my grid. But with that said, I would really appreciate the feedback that this community can give us and really support us as we grow. So mahalo, mahalo, mahalo.
Jamie, thank you so much for the update. Members, any questions for Waimanalo Elementary Intermediate? Hearing none. Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Jamie, we'll look forward to continuing to have dialogue and see where we might be able to support each other. Thank you so much for your service.
One more thing.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I have lost some positions due to new jobs and resignations. So I am still looking for 2 teachers. If you can put it out there, manifest with us so that we can support our students. Aloha.
Mahalo nui. Members, we're going to move on. Blanche Pope Elementary and Intermediate School. Kikula kaya punio Waimanalo. Hearing none, we're going to move on to Malamahonua Public Charter School. Cappy, are you doing this or is Denise on?
Yep. No, I'm going to do it.
Okay, mahalo.
Okay. Aloha mai kako. Happy New Year to all of you. I will be sharing. My name is Kapiolani Ni. I'm an assistant kumu at Malamahonua Public Charter School. I will be sharing on behalf of our po'okumu, Denise Espana. Let me see if I can bring this up. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Ikava mamua, ikava mahope. We look to the past to guide our future. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, let me go back. So December was a busy month for Malamahonua Public Charter School. As we wrapped up 2024, we took the time to reflect and celebrate, drawing inspiration from our kupuna and the journey that has brought us this far. We cherished the support from our Waimanalo community, built new connections across the Pacific, and looked ahead to our future as global citizens. Grounded in the wisdom of our past, we are excited to navigate the incredible adventures that lie ahead. So here we hosted some visitors from Aotearoa at Paipai Oheia. You guys can see that. We also participated in the Waimanalo Christmas Parade. And we also welcomed, we wrapped 2024 celebrating with a mahalo to our Tutu Hokulea, welcoming her into our community of Waimanalo. I think that is it that Denise left for me. Let me see if I can stop sharing.
Mahalo, Cappy. Members, any questions for Malamahonua Public Charter School? Hearing none. Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Cappy, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Mahalo nui for your presentation and congratulations on a new school year, excuse me. Okay, we're gonna move on, gang. Hui malamo kikai. Hearing none. Windward Community College. Chancellor, welcome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Loanoi Kamakihiki, Aloha Mai Kako, Mahalo, Chair Kane, and all the members of the neighborhood board. I've got two things. I just put in the chat a link. Starting this Saturday, we're going to have a great exhibition at Gallery Iolani, Ho'okahi Ka'ilao Like Ana, which features the 14-foot hoi uli, the steering paddles crafted by 70 Moananui Akea carvers as symbols of collective self-determination during the 13th Festival of the Pacific's Arts and Culture, FESPAC, in Honolulu. The exhibition features hoi uli crafted by Pacific delegations, including Hawaii, Aotearoa, American Samoa, Western Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, French Polynesia, Guam, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Rapa Nui, Solomon Islands, Taiwan, Tuvalu, and Vanuatu. It's co-curated by Andre Perez and Kaili Chun. I got to see a little preview when they were setting it up the other day. It's really amazing. There'll be an artist reception this Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. if people can come, and it'll be around through March 7th. The gallery hours are Monday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's right inside Paliku Theater on our campus. So come on over. It's really an amazing exhibit. Huge paddles. Chair Kane, also I had my first meeting with the new UH president, Wendy Hensel, and I brought up the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board's concerns that our community had reached out and not been heard during the process for selecting the president. And she seemed quite surprised, like honestly surprised, that she said that she hadn't received. And she was very willing to come to a Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting and speak or answer questions. So I just wanted to report back that I brought those concerns. And if you had a specific date or wanted me to invite her for a specific date, I would do my best for you.
Chancellor, thank you. I'm actually concerned and shocked too that she didn't get it. Maybe the email I sent it to is not correct, but I look forward to having her come and join our community. So thank you for reaching out and making it important for us. I will absolutely get you a date.
Okay, that's great. And I'll work with you and her then. Yeah, she did say something that she wasn't like there. She wasn't sure if the right it had gone to the right email. So that was
Gotcha.
her word too. So
Mahalo.
mahalo.
Members, any questions for WCC? Mahalo. Anyone from the public? Hearing none, Chancellor, congratulations on continued successes. Mahalo for your service.
Oh, and can I just say, ho'omai ka'i'a Canela. Congratulations, Canela. Mahalo for her service. Aloha.
Mahalo. Thank you, artist. We're going to move on to CTAR Gang, College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, and to Ilima.
Aloha nui kako. Happy New Year to everyone.
Aloha.
Mahalo for all of your work. And I wanted to also say mahalo to Kenani Granberg for continuing her work. And sorry that it has to be that kind of process. And I think that you have shown many years of successful participation in community. So mahalo for your work. And also to Canela, congratulations on joining the board and keep up with your great advocacy for our community. And we appreciate all of your work. I just wanted to report that on December 10th, we had a Call of Field Day, and community members were able to come and help with clearing out our aquaponics laboratory area and then planting kalo. And I wanted to say mahalo to Chair Kane for your participation and for leading the participants in Hawaiian protocol. And we had lots of positive feedback, especially about identification of the different vahipana of Waimanalo. And also on January 7th, we had a meeting of the Waimanalo Research Station Hui, which meets quarterly. And so mahalo again to Chair Kane as well as Paho Nukome for your participation and leadership in with the participants in Hawaiian Protocol and our visit of Pu'eheo. Not too much else happening right now other than students coming back and visiting. Malamahonua comes up multiple times each week. We're expecting Manawili Elementary School students in a couple of weeks, and we look forward to seeing you guys next month. Any questions?
Thank you, Auntie Ilima. Members, questions for CTAR? Hearing none. Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Auntie Ilima, mahalo for your service as well. Thank you very much.
Mahalo, aloha.
Okay, Kako, we're moving on. Hawaii Job Corps. Do we have Auntie Julie online? Hawaii Job Corps? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on. Waimanalo Health Center. Jasmine? Do we have Waimanalo Health Center? Okay, perfect.
Thank you for having me. I wanted to say Happy New Year. And we have our Director of Health Promotions, Jennifer Conway, here to share about some of our programs, hopefully encouraging people to start the year off with some healthy habits. So Jennifer's on the phone, and I'm going to share my screen so she can share about those programs. Okay. Can you see?
Yes, thank you, Jasmine.
Yep, we're good, Jasmine. Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer. Thank you for having me. We put together some of the slides of actually all of Jasmine's work for the flyers that we put out to the community. So we'll start first with our hula program, which is actually hula for hypertension. And so we focus on kupuna, but all are welcome. And this program will be restarting again this coming February. So for anybody, like Jasmine said, looking to begin like some lifestyle changes and maybe get on a good track for the new year, this is a great start. Again, all are welcome, all expertise are welcome. Kumu Ko'olu is our kumu for the class. They're normally in the evenings and on Wednesdays, although the day is to be determined. Okay, and then our next program is which Waimanalo Elementary and Intermediate School actually has graciously allowed us to use their lawn out front, which has been a huge benefit to us and the community for promoting this program. We've been able to expand a lot more, and we're continuing to expand. So we're looking for vendors always. And these vendors are, as a note, it's totally free to participate. And there really is no requirement except if you have like food or produce. If it's organic, you have to make sure it's like labeled organic, and for food, it has to follow the handlers' protocols, of course. And we do accept SNAP EBT for eligible purchases. And then we do accept the bucks for also the eligible purchases. And a special thanks to Kanani as well on here. She's one of our vendors too. So super grateful for her and her help for growing our market too. So thank you. These are, this program is 2 to 5, well, 2:15 to 5 on the campus. Okay, our next program is our cooking class series, which is a very exciting program that's actually been really well received within the community, and we would love to have more participants. It's the last Tuesday of every month, and again, all are welcome. We focus on like canoe plants and the use of organic and local produce. We use a farm from Waimanalo called Mall Farms. And we also have a partnership with them. They have a Well-Fed Ohana nonprofit that they provide like local homes with the ability to produce their own food on their own land. So like edible foods like ulu and banana and other produce. So this program really ties nicely with that, and we definitely promote the use of the farm fresh produce that we offer at the market. Okay, our next program, our diabetes talk story. This program is meant for our type 2 diabetic patients that are already diagnosed and that need help managing lifestyle changes and with the element of like community support. So it's a group talk story. And then this is led by our Dr. Sang, who's a board certified advanced diabetes management doctor. And if you have any questions about that, you can be a patient or you could become a patient. You don't have to change your PCP if that's like a barrier. So if you're interested, you can call Melissa on whose number is on the flyer here, or you can just call the front office and we can put you in contact with it. Okay, our next program is our diabetes prevention program. So this is pre-diabetes patients who are also looking for lifestyle change and to just promote their own health and well-being through lifestyle changes. And again, it's a community group setting. So it's great for connecting with others. Okay, and then I think that's it. Is that all of the okay, awesome. And then for any of the flyers, for anyone, if you need them for your own purposes, or if you want to post them at your community organization, we can definitely get you those.
Mahalo, Jen. Are we good, Jasmine? Was that
Yep.
all?
That's our
Okay.
updates. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Mahalo nui. Jennifer, thank you so much for the update. Jasmine, for your time. Members, questions for Waimanalo Health Center? Hearing none. Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Jasmine, can you just confirm real quick, are you folks in touch with the Waimanalo Ag Association at all for this the makeke, the farmers market?
For the like the community farm association?
Yeah, the Waimanalo Ag Association. I'm sure they have a network of farmers that might see value. I'm just making sure you guys are connected if you're not yet.
I should reach for getting started. They were actually very helpful. The problem is a lot of farmers just don't have the time or the manpower. But thank you for that. We should reach out again.
Okay, do let me know if there's a need there. I'm sure we could figure out a co-op way to get that done if it helps their participation and access to produce.
Mahalo.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jasmine, thank you folks for your time and service. Mahalo nui. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
We're moving on, members. Waimanalo Homestead Association. Hearing none, we're moving on to Bellows Air Force Station, members. Major Chen.
Aloha, good evening, everyone, and a happy New Year's. No updates from Bellows for this month. However, I do want to put out there, if any schools would like to participate or join Bellows with the environmental team and kind of learn together and come on to that side of the gate and kind of just work with our team, please let me know. We're definitely interested in participating in that and helping out as much as we can. With that being said, pending any questions, that's all I have for tonight.
Major Chen, thank you so much for being here, sir. Members, questions for Bellows? Hearing and seeing none. Anyone from the
I
public?
have a question, Kinyona.
Auntie
Wong?
Brenda? Yep, go ahead. Auntie Brenda.
I'm on the Parks and Rec Committee for the board, and the fence that's between Bellows and Unananiho is down. So I was wondering if you have any plans to help with that project and putting the fence back up.
Yes, that's something we were talking about. We were actually just out there this morning, kind of taking a look in that area. That is a project that we're talking about, and we're kind of putting it into our group of projects that we have to work through. So it is part of the conversation, but unfortunately, I can't give a timeline of when we can repair that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. And we will report on those, Major Chen. I think it's important that we just keep status updates on kind of how the fence lines are looking. While it might not be a priority now, I think it's going to continue to be priorities. Obviously, you know that for our community and safety. So we do mahalo you folks for your attention to that as well. Thank you.
Yes, Chair. Thank you.
All right, gang, we're going to move on. Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Miss Christie, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Chair, Neighborhood Board, community members. Christy Kaluhiwa with Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Wanted to give a couple of updates on how we ended our 24 year. We hosted the Hokolea and were able to provide opportunity for some of the schools outside of the installation. A few from Waimanalo and several also from Kailua were able to come onto the installation to come on board Hokolea and enjoy and learn from their educational opportunity. I was really excited to be able to work with Hillary from Mokapu Elementary. She is an amazing, very great educational leader in the Mokapu Elementary School, and she works well with the community and with the Marine Corps Base. For a future training that is coming up, I wanted to share with you folks. This is going to be occurring on January 22nd, and it's in the hours when traffic may be very heavy in the morning between 6 and 9 a.m. But I'd like to share with you a little bit of the purpose and a little bit of the history and the story. And you folks probably know Nainoa Ho, or his father, Alan Ho, that owns the polo field. Yeah, am I correct that he owns that? Or there's an association.
Maybe not owns, but yeah.
Okay.
That's a strong word in Waimanalo.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. On the 22nd, in honor of his son Nainoa, who passed away on in 2007, he during I need to read it so I don't cry. Nainoa was killed by a sniper in Iraq while he was leading his platoon on January 22nd. He was a graduate of the 95 Kamehameha schools and attended the University of Hawaii and the College Business of Administration, UH. He was commissioned as an Army officer through the UH ROTC program. So on this morning, they're going to be doing, on the polo field, they'll be doing like, the word that I remember is calisthenics, but they'll be doing it on the polo field. There's 70 of them, and they'll have also some high-ranking officials participating with them from the Army. And then they'll be crossing over the road. Our concern when we initially heard this is during rush hour. Everybody's going to work, everybody's going to school, and we know there's one lane in, one lane out. If they could coordinate with you, with the HPD. Apparently you need to do like 5 weeks in advance, yeah. And unfortunately, that time frame was too short, but we are hoping that everything will go well. They're not all going to cross at one time. It will be sectioned out. And their purpose is to get across the street into the McTab area where they will do exercising and swimming on that side. But we just ask if you guys would, we know malama that family. And sorry for the interruption for crossing the street. If there's any questions, please let me know. And if there's any, I know Ted Ralston had asked if there was opportunity for the community to participate or assist. I do have a POC, and if anybody's interested, I could share with you, Chair, and then you can share with the community if they reach out. One other thing that I wanted to share with you folks, and I received this in my email today, but I wanted to let you know so that you could read up on it. And I have a flyer. This is the Hawaii, California Training and Testing, EA. I did not get an opportunity to read through everything, but I do have and have made a flyer, and it has a QR code. And this QR code will take you straight to the site. On the site, it gives you all the information as well as a link to submit a testimony or questions and comments. In addition, there are and one in person, which is this Wednesday at the Ke'ihi Lagoon Memorial, and then another one on January 22nd from 3 to 4. It's virtual. The information is right here and also can be accessed through the QR code. I have several that I'll leave here for you to pass out and share. And then if you have any questions, please let us know. And that's all I have.
Mahalo nui, Christy. Thank you so much for sharing that update.
Thank you.
Members, questions for Marine Corps Base Hawaii? Hearing none. Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Christy, I just want to ask one question, and it relates to the public health study, the acoustic sound study.
Oh, the RQs.
Yeah, did we get any update on where that status is?
We are going to be in the next couple of weeks doing training for us to learn all about that analysis. Their testing and their analysis was several months long, so a lot of information, a lot of data to for us to learn in layman's terms, I would like to say, and then we're going to be able to share that very soon.
We appreciate that. We'd love to be kept ahead on where your folks' progress is there.
Will do.
Mahalo. Thank you so much for your service.
Mahalo.
All right, gang, we're going to move on. Hawaii Army National Guard. Hearing none, we're going to move into, I think you guys covered this at the last meeting, yeah, Kuike? The, this impact statement. Yeah, okay. We're in community and resident concerns. I think we have Auntie Blanche, and then we have Miss Barb, I think is also going to be commenting. Auntie Blanche, please.
Aloha kako. My name is Blanche McMillan. I am the CEO and the founder of the Hui Mahiai Aina. But before I start, I want to thank Kimiona and the board members. I would like to say that this last year, 2024 for Thanksgiving, we had 150 people from our residents for Thanksgiving. And we have 50 children. On Christmas Day, we celebrated all together, and each and every one of them had 10 presents each. They were the most happiest kid we ever had. But today I'm going to update you folks on the land that we're moving forward. But the man is here. His name is Dwayne Cariso. He is the AIO.
I guess I am the AIO. So, when I was sitting next to Auntie Blanche, she looked at my hand. She said, "Hey, look, no more callous. You know work hard." I said, "No. When I was growing up on a big island, I came from a small sugar plantation town. My hand was all cracked, all dirt. I used to be ashamed to hold a girl hand. Nobody wanted to hold my hand. But it's a entree to what I have to say. I grew up in a small plantation town, and it was a time and a place where things like trust, responsibility, friendship, and generosity was what we aspired to more. Not about money. It was really about that. And we survived because we had community. And, we all are shaped by the way we grew up. And so when it comes to solving situations here and abroad, all of those things come back. And it is really about that. And so when we built Kahauiki Village, it's a 144 unit home community near the airport. There's a childcare center, preschool. There's a country store. There's a student learning center. There's a rec center. And it's still, Tesla said, it's the only community in the world that powered by the sun. It's completely off the grid. And today we have almost 700 children, adults and children that live there. But I bring that up because In 2017, we were the test case for the governor's emergency proclamation. So theoretically, the state said you don't need permits to build anything. But I'm here to tell you that, it's a state's edict that you don't need permits, but really the permit process is a city and county process. So at the end, I mean, we struggled with it, but at the end, you really need a certificate of occupancy. And with a certificate of occupancy, that means you've had permits all the way through. The only difference is that instead of waiting for the process, you go ahead and do the work. But at the end of the day, you need to have permits. So that's one. The second thing is, and I'm relating it to Auntie Blanche's project. The second thing is, at the community meeting, someone asked about bypassing environmental concerns. And so, and I made the promise that when our work is finished, that I'll present our findings to the neighborhood board. So we are doing, for Auntie Blanche's property, we are doing an archaeological survey. We're doing an environmental survey, and we're also doing a biological survey to look for endangered species. So, and when those are done, I think one has started, two still have to be started. But I don't think we'd be done by the February meeting, but if it's done, I'll make that presentation if you allow me to. So, even if we don't have to, that's something that we do, and that's something that we've done before, because it's about integrity. So, if you have any other, Auntie Blanche, you want me to say anything else? Or that you're a beautiful lady and all that. So, do you have any questions of me, or does the public have any questions of me?
Mahalo nui. Thank you so much for the update. I think for where we are at, I want to make sure we can commit time to the discussion. So this forum right now in this particular part of the agenda is not for that.
Yeah.
But I will schedule accordingly, Auntie, in a committee. Why don't we do that so we can really sit down and navigate that together at our community plan committee?
And this is one more thing I wanted to do. I wanted to come to the neighborhood board first, but on the 28th of this month, we are going to have the meeting again at the Hui Mahiai Aina at 6 o'clock in the evening. Yes, so we are invited. I'm taking out flyers to let our community know that we're having another meeting to bring up this situation that we have. Yes.
Mahalo. And I want to make sure we're clarifying, okay? When we talk about this in both Auntie Blanche's meeting and others, there seems to be some opinion that the neighborhood board has to be notified. I want to clarify that we are an opportunity for the community to engage. And your kuleana in the work that you do is to just do that.
Yes.
We are one vessel for that. We're not
Thank
the
you,
only.
Leona, for your.
Yeah. But the way in which people understand the neighborhood board's function, we are sought after. Our voice is important in the communications between our elected officials, and we do have credibility. And so when we're dismissed as a board, it does not fare well, right? And it's not meant to be that way. It's meant to be inclusive. There has never been a statement from the board that ever said that nobody's voice is included. And we will always stand by the voice of the community. And so, Auntie Blanche, I really mahalo you for trying to correct the positionality of the project. Because to be neglected to come to the neighborhood board, that's fine. You're not going to hurt our feelings. However, when I'm asked to testify in opposition or in support, I will make that clear. That the board was not notified, that the community was not recognized in their ability to have the conversation. So that is on you folks to have that conversation.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I address that?
Sure, please do.
So, yeah, I think that issue came up at the land board meeting, and I know I'll repeat myself that it's not on Auntie Blanche, it's really on us. By the way, us, we do all of this for free. And in fact, we give money. We take nothing back for doing the project. But the property, the current structures sit on Auntie Blanche's property is really in a flood hazard zone.
Yes.
And so the reason why it was never brought to the community is we had to find a way to resolve that situation first. And we spent our own money to create, research and do a topographical map, and we found a solution on that property. So what happened at the land board meeting was not a permission to do the project. It was permission to allow us to further the studies that I just spoke about, because it's not our property. It's still DLNR's property. So it was a right of way to do our engineering studies, and we still have to do engineering studies to build a roadway to get to where the community is that we're building. So it's, on behalf of Blanche, it's actually our team's apology to the neighborhood board and to the community, because there was a misunderstanding, because we had nothing to present because we had no right to do anything yet. Yeah, so
Yeah, I appreciate the acknowledgement there. The point being
Yeah.
is we're all meant to serve the community.
Yeah.
That's our only kuleana in this capacity. And so I just want to make sure, Auntie Blanche, we're clear and your team is clear
Yeah.
that you're right. You don't need the neighborhood board's approval.
Yeah.
But it is in the best interest of the community that they are informed. And this is one method of that.
Yeah.
And we welcome any other method that is available to the community.
And likewise, Chair, any issues, any questions, we're open book. So
Mahalo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dwayne,
Thank
for
you.
coming forward.
Well, it's really my pleasure. Mahalo for allowing me to be here.
And one more thing I want to see, Kimiona, when it comes to our people, I want to make sure I'm there for them, especially those who live on the beach and in the bushes. I would like to bring all of them home, but I love them so much that sometimes they don't want to be noticed. They don't want to come to me because of their habits. So I say one day you folks will find yourself and make yourself greater, that I will accept you into the project, our shelter. I don't call it as a homeless. I call it a shelter, because it is our people's place and their home. And that's why I continue on to make sure that everyone is taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and Auntie, I want to make sure you don't ever have to explain that to us. We know that. It's very clear and it's very appreciated,
so
your
much.
leadership there. We just want to make sure that the community has opportunity to participate. So,
Mahalo
you
so
have
much.
our support. We look
Thank
forward to continuing to collaborate. Thank you
Mahalo.
guys. Mahalo, Auntie. Thank you guys. Auntie Barb? And then if we have any others that are going to be participating, providing their resident and community concerns, please queue up. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Auntie Barb. Mahalo, gang. Oyo.
Why? Everybody's leaving just because I'm up here. Good evening, those of you who are left. My name is Barbara Mayer, and I've lived in the Waimanalo Beach Lot since 1976. As a kid growing up in a military family, moving every 3 years, Waimanalo is my home. I love it very much. And I'm here tonight because I'd like to share my thoughts in opposition to the sewers extension into the beach lots. I am in favor, certainly, of cesspool conversion to septic tanks, but I am opposed to sewer extension into the beach lots. And I have about 5 thoughts that I'd like to share as background to this. First of all, the quality of current sewage treatment. My first reason is the beach lot's septic tank sewage system is the best method. Sandy soil is the best method for draining, filtering, and cleaning the water that runs through it. The beach lots have, I would say, as the name implies, 100% of soil is sand. I do believe, with my background in oceanography, that the beach lots is a remnant of a coastal beach from an ancient higher Pacific Ocean sea level. Unhappily, our neighbors just across Kalaniano Highway from the beach lots have a richer, higher clay soil, which doesn't filter water as well as sand, and unhappily do definitely need a sewer connection in that area. My second thought is that the sewer system expenses for owners and rental units. If a sewer system were extended into the beach lots, the sewage treatment plant would need to be enlarged with increased expense. Additionally, an unnecessary sewer connection and monthly bills in the beach lots would be very expensive for property owners as well as long-term rental tenants. Number three, and therefore, I think a repercussion of this increased cost of property owners might be that some owners would convert from long-term rentals to short-term vacation or B&B rentals despite legal constraints. I think that would be a tendency. Number four thought I'd like to share is the effect on neighborhood density if we go into a sewer connection. If a sewer connection were made to the beach lots, then developers would push to change regulations to allow an increase in the population density of the beach lots, an increase in the allowable height restriction. So we'd get an increase in 2-story, 3-story, 4-story, 5-story homes. This would invariably lead to the development of the area, causing the beach lots to become another Waikiki, walling off the beautiful beach from Waimanalo as a whole. We cannot allow that to happen, especially so close to Hunananiho, the site of the first people to arrive in the Hawaiian archipelago. Such an important historic site as is Plymouth Rock, the arrival of the location of the Mayflower Pilgrims. My last thought, number 5, is the future inability of sewage treatment to handle sewage process. Given the data we have about climate change, one of the expected effects of climate change will be the reduction of rain. And I could do my science teacher and give you more how that would happen, but there'll be a reduction in rain leading to a reduction of fresh water in our island aquifers. There will be less water for sewage treatment plants, resulting in ineffective treatment before water is released into our coastal ocean. In summary, the processing of sewage water destined for the ocean is an extremely important topic. I think a beach lot sewer connection could well lead to ramifications that would be detrimental to our coastal seawaters and the Waimanalo community as a whole. So thank you for the thoughtful consideration. Any questions that I might be able to answer?
Auntie Barb, thank you so much for your conversation and sharing your mana'o. We will keep you looped in when we do have any further conversations with Dr. Babcock and his team. It might be valuable to have your perspective. Thank you. Mr. Larson, thank you so much for being here, sir.
First of all, I'd like to thank Kalani Kalima and his family for putting together something that I think we're in our tribe, we're trying to do for our kids and our community. If you drive down the highway by Kiona on a weekend, what do you see? You don't see our people out anymore. We've got so many rules and regulations that it's keeping us apart. I'm of the belief that we can take care of ourselves. When we have pilikia, we can take care of it. It's always shut down. People, if we don't get together and become together as residents and start caring for one another, we're doomed. It just doesn't work. Another thing is the beach park, the ramp was for the only reason we were able to get it through when we had to go from the board. I mean, before DLNR, Haywood and I went and we argued with them. They said, we were going to be arrested and everything else. We said, well, we're going to still got to do it. And if for the Hawaiian community, especially, that water is healing. We have so many people that are incapable of walking into the water all along our beach because they can't get over the sand berm. And it's a crime not to let them be able to ramp we had was for, it came under handicap. That's got to be taken care of. I mean, our people got to come back and be together. We got to, even like at the sports, everybody after thing here, take a musubi and go home. No, no, that's not, I still come into with kids and parents from back when we used to be together. Our pride is most important. We are Nalo, and we are warriors, and our kids have been taught to be that. We hope, but now, since they can't play sports because it costs so much, we have to pay $1,500 a season to play soccer, and we got to go all the way to that, where Waipio. Yeah. And I mean, everything is so regulated, and with all the rules and regulations. Oh, that's great. You can't, somebody did something. Well, we got to make a rule for that. We got to make another regulation for that. We're people, we got minds. If we get together, we'll start coming together with, as a group or as a tribe, or, and there will be leaders. We've always had some leaders in the community before, especially in the homestead. And that's really needed. Next is the gym. That's ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. How much does that, I'd like to know how much they're paying in rent for that fencing that goes around it. I know that's a fee. I know who the contractor is. It's Inouye. I go by there and I keep looking at it because we have basketball practice. And my granddaughter's playing, so I go, we take her, and then during the day, if I'm passing by, I'll jump inside. I don't see nobody. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, what the hell is our representatives doing? I hear how they say such nice things, but they got no backbone. They got no fight in them. I listen to them on TV, and I hear some of the most ridiculous questions and things that don't pertain to any of us. It turns us off. Our fields, the field right down here with the gym, there's cracks in it like this wide, that deep, maybe even deeper in some, and they're long cracks. We got our little kids running out there. I swear to God, if my granddaughter or one of them steps in there, I'm going to sue. And I believe there's a because they've allowed us to play, so they should be responsible. We deserve something better than that. All they got to do is water it. They don't have to do all that other stuff. Just water it. Let the ground absorb the water, and be willing to mow it. Our baseball field, our parks are sad looking. Our baseball fields, our kids. How do you, somebody drives by in a nice car. Oh, that's nice, that car. I'd like that car like that. Well, you go by the baseball field and you see the way, the care of it, the base paths, the everything. It doesn't look like baseball. It doesn't have any pride, in that at all. Somebody's got to get in and kick somebody's ass.
Thank you, Mr. Lyson. Mahalo for your comments. Anybody else? Community concerns, resident concerns? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on. We have Councilmember Kiaina. You're up next. Mahalo for your time.
Aloha and good evening.
Aloha.
I just wanted to update you guys since we didn't have a meeting in December. Of course, with regard to the city council, as many of you know, I was chair of planning, and we undertook a review of Bill 64, which took us more than 2 years. And it was signed by Mayor Blangiardi on January 3rd. So Irene will put the ordinance 25-2 in the chat box as well as the website. And if you have any questions, you can call me. But more importantly, since Councilmember Say left, I am the new chair of zoning. And so I know that we're going to be very busy, even comparatively to what we did in planning. December 11th, last full council, we had a lot of movement relating to Waimanalo. Of course, the SMA for the improvements at Waimanalo Beach Park. So I'm pleased about the January 22nd meeting that will be held here at 7 o'clock. Of course, we had the renaming of the campgrounds at Waimanalo Beach Park in honor of Uncle George Mahoy. We also passed the resolution, which is going to kickstart the city's the council's agricultural development task force. So if anyone is interested, please let me know. I hope to have that up and running within 2 months. And then on the fireworks front, everyone's going to have all of their different ideas, and I welcome it. I did fight to be on public safety, which I did not have the opportunity to do so. So I'll be vice chair. I did look at the city ordinances, and I do know that I'm going to be dinged by legal begos on exceeding the authority granted to the city, but I did it anyway for dialogue. And that is I increased the penalties, which range from 200 to 2,000 to 1,000 to 10,000. And then the penalties now, there's no differentiation between 25 pounds below or 25 pounds above for aerials. And so I make it a misdemeanor. I mean, I make it a felony with punishable up to 5 years. So on Thursday of this week at 1 o'clock, we're going to have an informational briefing on that. I understand that there are those who would like to decriminalize fireworks so that it'd be easier to prosecute. And so I welcome the discussion. But most importantly, I actually want to talk about this document that was passed out regarding the proposed landfill. As everybody knows, and I highly recommend all of you to take a copy, which is here. If you look at the map, the question that is going to be challenging for all of us is that the Board of Water Supply has designated a no pass zone for sites, meaning that if it's going to impact one of our aquifers, they are not recommending that the site be there. And if you look at this site, it's almost all of Oahu. So why am I telling you this? Because even if the mayor had announced on December 10th that they are proposing Waihewa, which of course there's going to be adamant opposition because of its impact on the aquifer there, is that the advisory committee to the mayor in some of the PowerPoints that was given by the city had identified first 7 areas in Kailua and 1 in Waimanalo, and 2 have been taken off, Pali Golf Course and Royal Hawaiian Golf Course in Maunawili. But the 5 areas I'm deeply concerned about is 2 sites off Kapa'akori Road, 1 area near Castle Junction, 1 area occupied by Hawaii's correctional facility in Olamana School, and lastly, an area near Waimanalo Country Farms. Now, the reason that they were not chosen was because they violate Act 73 that was passed by the state legislature that said if it's in the conservation zone, they don't recommend it, or if there was no buffer of at least a half a mile from a hospital, a school, and I forget the other one, but residences. And so this is my worry, that we're all in a quandary here as policymakers, as well as the administration. My worry is that if they do determine that Waihewa is going to be off, then they're going to potentially revisit Act 73, amend it, and put all of these sites on the list. So I'm asking for your kokua So Kailua Neighborhood Board has established a permitted interaction group to look into the sites, and I ask that we work together. I believe that we don't wait around, that we prepare a narrative, that we go to look at all of the sites, and we provide a historical account of what has happened in Waimanalo, for example, with regard to the taking of lands, especially on the Makai side, for federal purposes, for city lands. And now they're asking the community, which is predominantly Native Hawaiian and Hawaiian homelands, that the acreage here is, you got to look at near 150 acres, yeah, that you're going to be giving that up. So for Kailua, because they have a history of landfills, I'm working with them to just make sure that we just strengthen our narrative and be ready to fight. And that's all I wanted to say. I just don't want people to put their guard down and think that they need not worry. It is a time for us to educate ourselves, to strengthen our narrative so that when anything happens, we're ready to fight. Mahalo.
Councilmember, thank you so much for your advocacy and service. Members, questions for the council member? And I just want to make note, Jenna McKeague is online as well. I'm not sure, Spencer, if we have a time for that, but Jenna, thanks for being here. Kuike?
Mahalo, Chair. I want to mahalo our councilwoman. Yeah. And I also want to mahalo our mayor for announcing and truly considering Wahiawa. And I want to ask our community, what is the greatest reason why our mayor believes and truly doesn't want to continue a landfill on the west side of Oahu? It's because Native Hawaiians and the Native Hawaiian community have shouldered, Oahu's rubbish and trash for the past 40 years. There's been a federal report that came out, been a study that came out. And I know this because the Native Hawaiians in the community of Nanakuli get PVT in their backyard. And this study came out that said those that live within 1.5 mile buffer of any landfill in America live 10 years less. So it's not 150 acres that we give up. We give up 10 years of our lives. For the community in Nanakuli, effectively right around 2,000 plus or minus people, 2,000 times 10. That's how much years Native Hawaiians have given for the construction, debris, and rubbish from the progression and development on Oahu. Ask yourselves, Waimanalo, is that something that you're willing to give? Are you willing to give the lives of your mo'opuna for the rest of the society here in on Oahu that quite frankly don't care about your health and well-being? So I'd like to express right now to Director Babcock, for the community of Waimanalo, for my ohana specifically, our answer is no. Simply because we've learned from our cousins on the west side. Simply because the data says no. And I'd like to ask our councilwoman, where is the data that our director has utilized to come up with these sites? Where is it? I've been asking this question for the last year, and nobody has been able to give me the answer. Who is creating the most trash on Oahu? And why are the communities that not creating the most trash burdened to shoulder everybody else's trash? So to our director, Babcock, I want to mahalo you for your work. This isn't easy. This isn't. This is an issue, a problem that's been kicked down the road for far too long. And now it's in your lap. So mahalo, director. Yeah. I'd like to encourage you. Maybe it's time for the county to consider, while we are trying to hurry up and identify and select a landfill because the time is working against us. Already, Waimanalo Gulch has been extended, and it cannot be extended much longer. In my capacity as a commissioner on the Land Use Commission, I know this for a fact. We got to come up with a decision very soon. So my recommendation, Director, is we identify what communities create the most trash. And either we tax them for the excessive trash, or we figure out ways where each moku can malama and convert their own trash, and we can divert the bulk of the opala to Native Hawaiian communities. There's no reason why we should be allowing outdated technology, digging a hole in the ground and burying our trash. There's effective ways to convert, there's effective technologies to convert waste into energy today that would effectively divert the bulk of the trash that goes into our aina. So for the community of Waimanalo, I urge you folks, those listening online and those present, pay attention. Your actions and inactions, determine literally how long your mo'opuna will live. The area there that's under consideration in Waimanalo is literally my backyard. It's on the other side of the fence. I will fight tooth and nail. I will lay my life down. If that means my mo'opuna can live 10 years longer. So, Chair, I mahalo you for the opportunity. Councilwoman, mahalo for bringing this to our attention. I yield.
Mahalo, Kuike. Members, any other questions for Councilmember Kiaina? Ted? Ted, did you have your hand up? Okay, hearing none. Any other committee members? Kanala?
Aloha. I guess this is a question for council member. The area near Waimanalo County Farms, is this the area where DHHL is proposing to build 42 more DHHL homes?
You know, I don't know the answer to that question because it's state kuleana, but I can find out for you. And I'm sorry, I meant to say country farms. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
country
sorry,
farms.
sorry.
Yes. But I would also thank you. That was the question. If this is the site where DHHL
Yes.
is already regional planning for.
So I got to tell you, so all of this kind of information, this is why I'm saying, even if you guys don't have a permitted interaction group, that we all kokua. And I've already talked to Director Babcock, but I would like to do an assessment of all of the areas just so that we know. But this is the kind of information that's helpful, for example, yeah? But I have to tell you, the Waimanalo out of all of them, for me, is off. Just from a historical perspective, if you look at the proportionality of how the lands are utilized, I mean, I think everyone on Oahu is going to agree with that. My worry is looking at a lot of these areas, which include golf courses. And so I think it's, talk about the hard choices. Yeah. They're going to have to make these hard choices, but I cannot wait around. I already know what's going to happen. And if you guys are interested, tomorrow there is going to be a hearing at 1:00 before the Housing Committee, which Councilmember Wire chairs. And it's going to be an informational briefing on this very issue. And I believe that the BWS director will be there, as well as Director Babcock. And I just thought I'd say it now because if we cannot prolong our due diligence efforts in preparing our narrative. So that is a very good point. I don't know the answer, but we need to all figure that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, I think confidently it is the same site or in the same general vicinity, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just lastly, what I'm going to be looking at, I don't know if all of the government lands have been fully explored as well as private lands. separate from this diagram. And so that's what I need to explore myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess my comment is for the director. Thank you. But like with my kids, I have 7 from 2 to 18 years old, and they would say no because we are in this regional planning for the Waimanalo Country Farms for the new DHHL planning. And if you guys decide to put a landfill there, you guys will impact my kids, which my voice echoes them going forth. So I look forward to working with you, Esther Aina, and researching and figuring out these places, location, historic, significant places, because it needs to be advocated, because we weren't here 20 years ago. We weren't here 40 years ago. And there is significant mo'olelo across this whole island. But thank you.
Mahalo kanala. Auntie, well, take a minute. Hold on, Auntie. We'll bring the remote to you. We'll bring the mic to you. We can get it online.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mahalo.
This is the first time I'm hearing this, but I live at the corner of Holokahiki and Lupe. That corner. We get ohane over there. We get ohane. They come travel every winter. They come, and then they come from the pu'u, the walkers. You guys do not look at the spiritual side of our land. When you talk of pu'u o Molokai, yeah, that pu'u was tall before, because what is it known as now? The quarry. And they took that mountain down. But the legends I hear from Auntie Nikki Hines about that place, ever you touch, ever. Now that I know, you got one fight on your hands. Because I'm going to get my street to come out for this one.
Mahalo.
It ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen.
Mahalo, Auntie.
And, you know, as far as Wahiwa and all that stuff, I get it. We don't have room on one base.
Not in Waimanalo.
Yeah, not in Waimanalo, but hey, try to take a look, you know, at what the military has taken from us. And, you know, if we have to take some back just for this problem, so be it. They asking for extended lease? Nah, ole. You know, so you have to look at, I never hear anything about spiritual, you guys. But unless you live there and you know the walkers and you hear the uhane, no touch. You worry about your family, for sure. Okay.
Mahalo, Auntie. Thank you. Any other members' questions for Councilmember Kiaina?
Chair.
Sure. Sorry, can I just mention that we have 2 public meetings this week on the landfill. Wednesday night, there's a town hall meeting at Waihua Elementary, 6 to 8 p.m. And the next night, there's a town hall, which Mayor will be at in Whitmore. And it's at the volleyball court, Whitmore Community Park. And that's at 5 to 7 p.m. So it is a chance to come out, for everybody to come out. It's an ongoing conversation. We really just got started. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We recognize that, Dr. Babcock. Thank you. Quick last comment, and then we're going to move on, gang.
Director, when was the Whitmore Community Park meeting? What day was that?
That's this Thursday, the 16th, 5 to 7 p.m. Whitmore Community Park, 1259 Whitmore Avenue. And the one before that, though, is Wednesday night. That one's organized by some of the Ledge folks, Representative Peruso, and I'm not sure who else is involved, if council member was involved, but that one is at the Wahiwa Elementary School cafeteria, 6 p.m.
Mahalo, Director.
Thanks.
My last comment, and then Chair, we can wrap this segment up. Director Babcock, and I know this is Councilwoman's time, but I just want to say this. You know, it's cliche and it's deserving. Yeah, not in my backyard. But here's my issue with this. This impacts and affects all of us. right? For generations, we've all been sending our opala somewhere, whether that's in our backyard, whether that's in somebody else's backyard. So Director, I just wanted to just say this, yeah. In all of my kuleanas and in all of my capacity, you know, I will open myself to kako'oyu in this endeavor, because all aina is sacred. As a farmer by trade, yeah, converting agricultural land, you know, for other people's waste is not the business. It isn't, you know. So, Chair, we got to do something, yeah, and we should be active. So let's learn from Kailua, and you know, if the mechanism for this board, you know, to amplify our voice and to work beyond the means of the monthly meeting to get to the business, you know, to support our councilwoman in this capacity. I'd like to make that recommendation, whether that's done here tonight or in the future. So mahalo, Chair.
Mahalo nui, Koike. Thank you for the comments. All right, gang, we're going to move on. Councilmember, again, thank you so very much for your time. Do we have Senator Chris Lee on? Hearing none. Representative Lisa Martin? Hearing none. That brings us up to the governor, Mr. Josh Green. His representative this evening, Ms. Diane Ako. Thank you so much, Diane, for waiting and generously giving of your time this evening. We look forward to your report.
Okay. So, aloha, this is my first board meeting, and I want to apologize that I took it so seriously. I produced an update that's literally half as long as the agenda. So I'm going to try to whip through it. So Governor Green has a monthly newsletter, Ke Alaho, and the link is governor.hawaii.gov/newsletter, and you can look for the January newsletter link. That is the link where you can also subscribe. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services have approved a new change that allows kids in Hawaii to stay covered by Hawaii's Medicaid program, Quest, without interruptions as follows. Kids under age 6 will have continuous coverage until their 6th birthday. 6 to 19 get coverage for 2 years at a time, and that link is also in the governor's newsletter. Hawaii State Archives preparing to air a monthly program soon on the oral histories of Hawaiian musicians. It partnered with Olelo Community Media and used a federal earmark from U.S. Senator Brian Schatz to create this series, along with a royalty-free library of Hawaiian music. There's 350 pre-1924 recordings online at digitalarchives.hawaii.gov. It is also streaming its next free ukulele concert on March 15th. That is online only, Facebook at Hawaii State Archives. State Foundation on Culture and the Arts applications now open for the 25-26 and 2025-27 Artists in the Schools residences. Everyone pre-K through 12, public and charter schools can apply. More at sfca.hawaii.gov/AITS, as in Arts in the Schools. OHA. Committee on Investment and Land Management meets January 22nd from 2 to 3. More on that at the OHA website under the Events tab. Hawaii Department of Agriculture, Plant Industry Division's Update Act 231 actions on biosecurity funding for invasive species. Little fire ant residential treatment vendor contract is under final review. You can look for that vendor at hands.ehawaii.gov and search under Little Fire Ant. Right now, the selection is Rent-to-Kill North America. And if approved, that work would start February 1st. CRB, Coconut Rhinoceros Beetle Tree Removal Contract, also under final review. HTM Contractors was picked. And should that go through, that work starts January 15th through the end of 2025. Koki frogs, the division continues to work with the invasive species committees to identify populations, treat and or catch frogs. DLNR also got food grade citric acid for treating conservation land populations. Administrative rule changes to Chapter 4-72, updating intrastate plant quarantine rules, expected to be signed by the end of the month. DLNR. The local fishing community is encouraged to help shape the future of nearshore fishing in Hawaii by engaging with its reef habitat plan. You can find the survey link at the Reef Habitat Plan website, which is accessible from the DLNR website. And also, it is the 2025 Year of Our Community Forest. Governor Josh Green signed something to that effect recently. So, let's see here. Sorry, I got lost on this. You can submit grant proposals for projects that celebrate and bring awareness to our community forests. Apply at dlnr.hawaii.gov/forestry. And no comments or requests from November 7th meeting. No meeting in December due to the holidays. That's my update. Sorry, I
Diane?
tried to find things that I thought might be interesting to you.
It's all interesting. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Mahalo for your update. Members, any questions for the Office of the Governor? And I just want us to be mindful of time. We still have quite an agenda. Members, comments, questions for the Governor?
Sorry, I can't raise my hand.
Lulu,
we
go
go.
ahead, Lulu.
Sorry, there we go. Question on the Little Fire Ant, the Koki, and the CRV. Is that just for the work that the contractors are just gonna do what parks and like government areas? Or is that for everywhere? Because it's not just in one little area that everything's affected.
Okay, we'll take that question and we'll get that answer at the next meeting. I don't believe Diane's ready to answer that question tonight. That's why, Lulu. We can send it to you, but it's about LFA and CRB and whether or not it's restricted to just governmental spaces, public spaces, or will. Waimanalo has a large farming community that's suffering from this, and there's not a lot of resources available to our community farmers, and so out of pocket is just not cutting it. And so there needs to be something to look at to do better work in that regard. Lulu, does that capture some of your sentiments?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, all I know that I wrote down on my update was that it's to treat residential infestations. And if you needed to know more, I would go back to the Department of Agriculture and ask.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, yeah, let me know. Do you want me to find out more than that?
Lulu?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Diane. We have a comment, Kuike?
Mahalo, Chair. I have a comment for the Governor, actually 2 comments. My first comment is I wanted to mahalo Governor Green in this budget bill submittal for appropriating or for setting aside $750K, to be given to the LNR to be administered by the Office of Hawaiian Affairs in the interest of a public land trust audit. So I want to mahalo the Governor for hearing our concerns that the public land trust and the ceded land trust and his kuleana to the 1978 Constitutional Convention and the establishment of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs and the pro rata share set aside for Native Hawaiians. So I want to mahalo him, and his initiative. And that monies will be duly matched. By the Office of Hawaiian Affairs with $250K in the total of $1 million for the public land trust audit. So I want to mahalo the Governor. The second comment that I wanted to make, I forgot. But since we're on the topic of CRB, I don't know who's consulting the Governor, but if he needs more consultants, let me know. Yeah. I don't think the issue when it comes to the coconut rhinoceros beetle is residents. I really believe, it's commercial businesses that are hoarding, green waste. We already know from the early studies, that the CRB spends 90% of their life cycle in the ground, in mulch. And if we're just continually allowing, the stacking, if we're continually allowing, commercial businesses to build these huge piles of mulch that are not turned, that are not laid out, that are creating these hotspots for CRB to breed, then we're effectively allowing the erasure of the coconut, of one of our akua, Hawaii, the niu, the akua ku, effectively threatening, the agricultural and spiritual parts of our Hawaiian culture and people. So, to me, I know Chair Hurd, I know the Director of Department of Ag does have the authority to declare an emergency proclamation, but so does the governor. And this wouldn't be the first in this administration. So my recommendation to the governor would be to consider that. And I'll give you my business card if he needs any more information on that.
Sorry, Diane, we're gonna need you with a mic just so that it can be captured on. Thank you.
This one is not residential though. The CRB contract is to,
Remove trees.
off of public lands.
And so by
Is that-
removing trees, we are turning them into a green waste recycling facility that will effectively create piles of green waste that
Yeah.
are not monitored. So we're perpetuating the problem. We're spreading the problem. We're increasing the problem.
Wait, so trim, remove, haul, and dispose of coconut tree branches and leaves from coconut trees?
Define dispose.
Oh, I can ask the DOA. I'm not the writer of this stuff.
I
Yeah.
totally get it.
Totally fair. I'll write it down and report it back.
Mahalo.
Okay.
Mahalo, Kuike. Okay, Ted, your hand is up.
No, I can't seem to unhand it here.
Okay, we'll take our last question from Taylor for the Office of the Governor. Taylor Campbell.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to say, since we don't get to talk to the Office of the Governor that often, but the farmers have been having to pay out of pocket for treatment of LFA and CRB on top of all the other invasive and pests and everything that are just decimating crops right now. And I've heard reports that private residences in other areas, including vacation rentals from people who are not here half the time, are getting their treatments paid for LFA. And I just want to urge the offices to look out for the farmers, because we have also been getting really bad raps in the news saying that we're responsible for spread, but we need support. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Noted. Seeing no other hands, we're gonna move on, gang. Mahalo nui, Diane, for being with us this evening. Thank you for your report. Do we have anyone from Congresswoman Joe Takuta's office this evening? Okay, hearing none. Members, we're going to move on to board business. We do have several items for us to catch up on. One requires us to read a resolution, so I'm going to jump right into that. Again, we're in decision making as these all have gone through committee and had various opportunities for comment. We do not, we won't turn anyone down from providing testimony at some point, but we do want to recognize for time that we've heard a lot of testimony on all of these topics, and we mahalo those that have been participating. Resolution supporting licensed midwives. This was produced out of the Hawaiian Affairs Committee. It reads as follows. Members, you should have all received this in your email, but for the general public, this is as it reads currently. Whereas Article 12, Section 7 of the Hawaii State Constitution protects the rights of Native Hawaiians to their traditional and cultural practices. The section states that the state will protect rights. The state will protect the rights, customs, and traditions of Native Hawaiians that are used for subsistence, cultural, and religious purposes. Whereas Act 32 Session Laws of Hawaii 2019 created a licensure program to regulate midwives as Chapter 45(7)J. Hawaii revised statutes with the intention to allow a woman to choose where and with whom she gives birth while providing the benefits of licensure. And whereas the licensure program is set to end on June 30, 2025, and whereas as stated in Act 32, the legislature that mothers and families seek out alternatives to hospital births and they find significant value in the community or home birth services. And these services have been provided by individuals identifying themselves as traditional or cultural practitioners, midwives, certified professional midwives, lay midwives, direct entry midwives, birth keepers, or birth attendants. And whereas traditional and customary Native Hawaiian healing practices, inclusive of and not limited to palekeki, ho'ohapai, hapai, ho'ohanau, and hanau, prenatal, maternal, postpartum, and childcare shall not be negatively impacted. Whereas for many people, decisions about pregnancy and birth are informed by their personal or community history and culture, and pregnancy and births are thus often experiences of great social, cultural, and spiritual significance, not just medical events. And whereas there are a wide range of traditional practitioners, for example, palekeki, traditional church midwives, lola, and semba, and birth-related service providers, including doulas, lactation consultants, birth coaches, chanters, nutrition support people, spiritual practitioners, and others whose care and advice are important in the well-being of birthing people and their families. And whereas regulation of certified professional midwifery and certified midwifery, which use prescription drugs, modern instrumentation, and techniques such as intravenous fluid administration, would be reasonable and beneficial to consumers, with the addition of accessible pathways for qualified local Hawaii practitioners to achieve licensure. And whereas, because of this additional licensing, certified professional midwives can offer the most comprehensive array of healthcare services to women, including gynecological exams, family planning, preconception and prenatal care, labor and delivery support, quality newborn and infant care, menopausal management, and reproductive education in fertility, nutrition, exercise, contraception, pregnancy health, and breastfeeding. And whereas the implementation of Chapter 45.7J provided valuable insight into the complexity of community birth settings in Hawaii and identified some of the urgent needs in this process, including safety, access to care, culture, integration, license equality, justice, and diversity. And whereas continuing this licensure program will allow pregnant people to choose where and with whom they give birth by ensuring the legality of the practices engaged with by any birthing person, while comprehensive solutions are built that address the complexity of community needs and cultural considerations in Hawaii. Be it resolved by the quorum vote of 5 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstains in support at the Tuesday, November 12, 2024 Hawaiian Affairs and Natural Resources Committee of the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board number 32 would like to propose that the state legislature support the specific legislation identified as Resolution 24-183, approving for inclusion in the 2025 Maui County Council legislative packet and state bill relating to licensed midwives, unanimously approved by vote 9 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstains on Friday, November 15th, 2024, which will allow all birth practitioners to practice legally while continuing licensure for certified professional midwives and certified midwives. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that a signed copy of this resolution be delivered to City Council Member Esther Kia'aina, State Representative Lisa Martin, State Senator Chris Lee, Congress Member Joe Tokuda, Executive Director of Waimanalo Health Center Dr. Mary Oneha, State Office of Wellness and Resilience Director Tia Hartstock, Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs Director Nadine Ando, Department of Health Dr. Kenneth Fink, Board of Trustees Office of Foreign Affairs Chair Kaili'i Kahele, Office of the Auditor Deputy Auditor Daria Loikoto, and chairs of the Oahu Neighborhood Boards. Members, this is again at the recommendation of the Hawaiian Affairs Committee. Is there a motion to approve?
Chair, this is Kuike.
Kuike?
So moved.
Mahalo, is there a second? Members,
Second.
we are in. Thank you. Sorry, we had a second by Canela here in office, in building. We're in discussion. Members, any discussion? Kuike?
No discussion, Chair.
None? Any members online? Hearing none. I just want to offer this one comment, and the comment goes to the continued community of practitioners and allies that have been showing up consciously, intentionally at these conversations that we've had. This has been a very difficult conversation to have for many people. And so we mahalo you folks for making time and commitment and sacrifice to be present with us, to teach us, and to guide us, and having the compassion to be present in all ways that we've asked you folks to show up. So to your team, Christy, Pua, Anake, mahalo nui to you folks for just your continued perseverance in this conversation. Hearing no other comments, we're going to close discussion. Members, when your name is called, you are voting to support this resolution. Your vote aye, ole, no, or kanalua abstain. I'll turn it over to our NCO assistant. Mahalo. Wanna use this one?
Check, check, check. Kanani Gramberg. Jenna McKee.
Aye.
Oh,
I think that was
Aye.
Kanani.
Yep, I for Kanani. Jenna McKee.
Aye.
Lourdes Milan.
Aye.
Moyata Moku Lehua.
Aye.
Kapiolani Ni.
Aye.
Ted Ralston.
Aye.
Kanela Kamahaloha Nui Lai.
Aye.
Brenda Wong.
Aye.
Kuike Kamakea Ohelo.
Aye.
And Chair Kimiona Kane.
Aye.
Motion pass. We have
Is it 9 members?
10.
10 members present. Members, mahalo nui for your service this evening. We will pass this out and get this sent out to our representatives. Thank you guys for your commitment. We're going to move on, gang. We have several items to catch up with from November. Urging the Department of Transportation to install a speed table at the crosswalk fronting McDonald's on Kalaniana Ole Highway and St. Matthew's Church on Kalaniana Ole Highway. Is there a motion to approve that?
Chair Kuike.
Kuike?
So moved.
Mahalo, is there a second?
Second.
Ted Ralston with the second. Members, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Kuike,
Just a comment.
please.
Can we ask our Director Sniffin to move with urgency?
We can add that into that.
Mahalo, Chair.
Mahalo. Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. Members, when your name is called, actually, you want to do roll call? Unanimous. Okay, thank you. Recognizing 10 members present, this item has been moved and seconded in support. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, any abstentions? Hearing none. Members, mahalo nui for your service. We'll pass that out at 10 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions with your support. Thank you. Moving on, we have the urging of the Department of Transportation to install delineators at the Mulca corner of McDonald's across of McDonald's to discourage illegal overtake of vehicles. Is there a motion to approve?
Chair Kuike.
Kuike?
So moved.
Mahalo. Is there a second?
Second.
Kanala, seconded. Thank you. So enlightened over here. Kanala with the second. Members, we're in discussion. Any discussion?
Chair, if I may.
Kuike, please.
Same sentiment as the last motion. If we can please urge Director Sniffin to move it urgency. This has been a concern of our communities for the past 8 months, and it's been on our books for thus long. However, all my life I've experienced people overtaking, those trying to turn left either into Aloiloi or left into McDonald's driveway, which, they overtake the cars into the bus lane, and which can be, we want to avoid, things that we can avoid. So with urgency, Chair.
Understood and noted. Thank you. Any other comments, members? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. Members recognizing 10 present. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Hearing none. Any abstentions? Hearing none. Mahalo, members, for your service and your approval there. Letter D, letter urging the Department of War and Homeland to engage in community outreach for installation of a four-way stop sign at Oluolu Street and Hihimanu Street. Is there a motion to approve?
Chair,
Kuike?
I would like to make the motion if Kenani wouldn't like to take it first.
Okay, mahalo Kenani.
I'm actually against this.
Okay, no problem.
Mahalo. Chair, I'd like to make the motion.
Please.
If we can encourage the HHL to engage with community.
Understood. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Kanala seconded. Members, we're in discussion. Kuike?
Just for clarification, at this point in time, it's just to encourage the HHL to engage with the community, because I believe the jurisdiction is county. However, that four-way stop impacts the HHL's beneficiaries because they have to live with, those rolling through the stop sign. So I very much would like if the HHL would engage with their beneficiaries and potentially include this conversation or discussion into any future regional plans.
Correct. Yeah, that is the understanding. This is just to ensure that conversation is being had and outreach is being done. Correct. Any other discussion? Okay, closing discussion. Again, members, this is a letter urging the Department of War and Homeland to engage in community outreach for installation of a four-way stop sign at Oluolu Street and Hihimanu Street. It is not to install stop signs, it's to start the outreach process. It's been moved and seconded. Recognizing that there are 10 members present, all in favor say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
nays? Any abstentions? Okay, hearing 10 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. Mahalo nui for your support, members. We have one item that I missed on the agenda, and I apologize about it in our transition through the recess. It was an update to a letter that we published out in January 16th of 2024 on behalf of the acquisition of Waimanalo Apartments by PF Waimanalo LLC. This was in response to Mr. Taylor Hunt, who came to the community through the neighborhood board on various occasions to update us on improvements to be done at the Waimanalo Apartments. He reached out over the winter break in December to ask for an updated letter as they're going to be submitting another grant proposal in February. So they need letters in 6 months within their proposed date. And I apologize, I did miss putting this on the agenda. So first question is to ask the board to consider adding this item to the agenda. If there's a motion to add this to the agenda.
Chair, can you please, for clarification, just reiterate?
Yeah, we submitted a letter of support on their behalf in their work to update the Waimanalo Apartments. And on January 16th, we submitted a letter. They'll be doing an additional round of writing grants, trying to get funding for their project. And so the requirement,
community partners.
the grant funding proposal requires a letter of support dated no later than 6 months, like not beyond 6 months. So he's asking for an updated dated letter before their February proposal.
Chair, I'd be open to entertain the motion to add it to tonight's agenda.
Mahalo. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ted. Members, this is to add the item to the agenda for consideration. I don't think we don't have to have a conversation now, right? We can. It's just to add it. Yeah, and then we can have the discussion after it's added. Okay. Okay, members, it's been moved and seconded. Recognizing 10 members present. All in favor to add this item to the agenda, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions?
What?
Sorry, is that an abstention? Any abstentions? Okay, Hearing 10 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. So I'll go ahead and put this on. This is as the letter reads from January 16, 2024. It's dated to Mr. Dean Minakami, Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation, 677 Queen Street, Suite 300, Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. Regarding acquisition of Waimanalo Apartments by PF Waimanalo LLC. Aloha, Mr. Dean Minakami. It is my humble duty to inform you that the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board number 32 unanimously supports the acquisition and renovation of the Waimanalo Apartments located at 41-545 Hihi Manu Street, Waimanalo, Hawaii 96795 by PF Waimanalo LLC. As initially articulated by Mr. Taylor Hunt at our Monday, April 11, 2022 regular Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting number 32, and again at our Monday, January 9, 2023 regular Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting number 32. Furthermore, Mr. Hunt provided an update for the project at the Monday, January 8th, 2024 regular Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting, followed by an update at our Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 Waimanalo Community Plan Committee. It is the opinion of the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board that this is a critically important project and is in the best interest of the residents and community as it aims to continue to offer appropriate, affordable, and low-income housing options. We recognize that Hawaii has been suffering from a housing crisis, and in such understanding, we urge the Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation to take progressive actions to ensure we can house our community. If you have any comments, questions, I invite you to contact me with the information provided below. Thank you for your patience and attention to this matter, as well as your service to our community. So the request is to just redate the January 16, 2024 to reflect today's date, if approved, at January 13, 2025.
Chair, point of clarification.
Please.
What part of the agenda are we proposing to insert this agenda, insert this item?
Right now, during board business.
Okay, mahalo.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. Members, we're looking for a
Chair.
motion to approve. Redate. Kuike?
If there's no further discussion on the matter, I'd like to propose that we recycle the letter and change the date. And this motion is in support, of this project.
Mahalo. Is there a second?
Second, Moyata.
Hello with the second. Sorry, those online get a little bit lag, but we have Kuike with the main motion and Canelo with the second. Members, recognizing 10 members present. This is to support updating the letter to date January 13, 2025 in support of the...
Time for discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as soon as I finish reading that, then yeah. In support of the acquisition of Waimanalo Apartments by PF Waimanalo LLC. It's been moved and seconded. We are in discussion. Kuike?
Yes, mahalo, Chair. The reason why I made this motion because I'm in support, and especially because this board has already twice taken a position of support. So, we just want to continue that support. But however, outside of that, I'm somewhat aware, that HHFDC and the homes in the village, the leases will be coming up. So if any future acquisitions of those homes or transference of those homes, outside of HHFDC to a potential new community partner or this community partner, I'd like to make sure that we are ahead of the game here and informed. Yeah, that way we can do the very best in our ability to ensure that our community is informed of these potential changes. So mahalo, Chair, for allowing me to share my thoughts, and I yield back.
Mahalo. I will add that to our, when I send out that email. Okay, members, we are still in discussion. Any other discussion? Comment, Canela?
Thank you, Chair. Would we be able to request for PF LLC to possibly share with our board on plans for their existing residents and what's going to happen with them during this renovation or this upgrade of the Waimanalo apartments, and maybe how it would impact the community and the AMI?
Yeah, they have presented on that previously, and Mr. Hunt has been very agreeable to come out and share. So we can definitely ask for an invite. Kuike, last comment?
Yes, last comment, mahalo, Chair. Just want to clarify again, this letter of support is because it enables this community partner, to apply for grants. Yeah, this is not specifically for any new renovation projects coming up. However, I'd like to support what Board Member Anela has brought up and invite, our community partner to come back and present on not only the current projects and how it'll impact the current residents, but also what data and if any, if they could share that data, with us here, so we can be duly informed in our conversations around housing in our community. So mahalo, Chair, for the time.
Mahalo, noted. Members, we'll go ahead and close discussion. We are voting to support the redating of this letter on behalf of the Waimanalo, PF Waimanalo LLC. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions? Great. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move that out. Mahalo for your time and awareness to that, members. 10 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. We have our last item before the board. We recognize it's 9:35, members, so we are running very quickly out of time. Monday, September 10th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Chair,
Kuike?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Mahalo, is there a second? Panella seconded. Members, we are in discussion. Any discussion on Monday, September 10th, 2024 meeting minutes? Hearing none. Mahalo. Discussion is closed. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions? Mahalo, members. Hearing 10 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. We'll go ahead and provide that. Moving on, Monday, October 14th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Chair, this is Kuike again.
Kuike?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Mahalo nui. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Kanala
Aye.
with the second. Mahalo, members. It's been moved and seconded. Do we have any conversation, any discussion? Hearing none. Again, the motion moved by Kuike, seconded by Canela. Members, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Hearing none. 10 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. Members, mahalo. Last item, Monday, November 14th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Kuike again, Chair.
Kuike?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Mahalo, is there a second?
Aye, Ted.
Canela, seconded. Thank you, Ted. Members, we are in discussion. Any discussion? I do want to, there's one amendment I'd like to ask. Board business. It says Vice Chair Kane asked if there were any objections to defer board business. I think that should reflect Vice Chair Kuike Kamakea Ohelo as he chaired this meeting. So if we can just make that, it's on page 4 of 5. I marked it here.
Thank you.
That's the only amendment I would offer because I wasn't even here.
Chair,
Kuike?
I would like to accept your recommendation and
Mahalo.
request that the minutes be amended to reflect your recommendation.
Mahalo with the updated motion with the amendments made. Is there a second to support? Canela, thank you so much. So the revised amended minutes to reflect properly that Chair Kamakea Ohelo provided that information has been moved and seconded. Members, we're in discussion.
Chair, if I may,
Kuike?
I'd like to mahalo you for the opportunity to chair that meeting. It was an eventful and exciting and a lot of mana flowing through that meeting. But please don't do it again. This time.
I heard Moyata wanted to chair, so let me know. Okay, members, we're going to go ahead and close discussion. We are at, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Mahalo, gang. Any nays? Any abstentions? Hearing no nays or abstentions, approved at 10 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions. Mahalo, gang. Meeting announcements, Neighborhood Commission Office announcements. Do we have anything that we need to go over, Spencer?
Just register. Register for the election. Go to honolulu.gov/NCO. There's a tab there, 2025 Neighborhood Board Elections. Super quick, just put your name, put your address, can add a picture, quick bio, done. I think the deadline is the end of February. Sorry, I don't have the date on me, but it's on the website.
Cool. Thank you, Spencer.
Which elections?
Neighborhood board, our elections.
Our elections.
Yeah.
Oh, officers.
No,
Wait, what?
no. So everybody, all the board members got to reapply. So even
Yeah,
if you're
every
already every 2 years, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the neighborhood boards, yeah. Yeah. Anyone want my seat? Moving on. The regular meeting of the Neighborhood Commission is scheduled for Monday, January 27th, 2024, 6 p.m. on WebEx and at Kapala Mahale. Next meeting of the Survey Committee is scheduled for Thursday, January 23rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. On WebEx and at Kapala Mahale. The next Waimanalo Neighborhood Board meeting number 32 will be on Monday, February 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m. and will be hybrid. Education Committee is on the second Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 at 5 p.m. We also will be having our committee tomorrow. Education and Hawaiian Affairs is tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th. Hawaiian Affairs Committee is on the second Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Parks and Recreation Committee will be scheduled on the second Wednesday, February 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And the Waimanalo Community Plan Committee is on the second Thursday, February 13th, 2025 at 7 p.m. As soon as any updates to the Olelo broadcast schedule is made public, we will go ahead and update it on our agenda. But currently it runs on the fourth Monday of the month at 9 p.m. and on the first and third Saturdays of the month at 3 p.m. on Olelo Channel 49. That brings us to the end of our meeting, members. Do we have anyone that would like to close us off in Pule this evening? Auntie Brenda, can you close us off again?
Sure.
Mahalo.
Mahalo Keakua for your presence, for your wisdom, for your unity. We thank you for each community, each place that we represent in Waimanalo, and we ask that you would allow the things that benefit this community to go forward. Thank you for those that are serving, Lord. Give us strength, give us wisdom. And Lord, we ask that you would preserve this beautiful place for your people here. In your name we pray. Amen.
Mahalo, Auntie Brenda. Members, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Having no other business before this board, this meeting is adjourned at 9:41 p.m. Thank you very much, everybody, for your participation. Malama and be well. Ahuyo.
Aloha.
Ahui.